Hi everyone, I am Sneha and today I am representing Space EC India Foundation along with my HR team. So at Space EC India Foundation, we strongly believe that every employee, intern, volunteer and team member deserve to work in an environment that is safe, respectful and inclusive. As an organization, we are committed to maintaining the highest standards of workplace ethics and employee well-being. So today through this Posh Awareness and Compliance presentation, I will take you through the Posh Act 2013, employee rights, organizational responsibilities and the mechanisms we have in place to ensure a safe and harassment-free workplace. So let's begin by understanding why a safe workplace is a fundamental right. At Space AC India Foundation, we believe that every individual who enters a workplace or works remotely deserves to feel safe, respected and valued. Safety is not merely a workplace benefit, it is a fundamental right protected under our Indian law. A positive work environment allows employees to contribute confidently, work, collaborate effectively and perform at their best. So, as highlighted on this slide, this training is designed to help us to understand the Posh Act, recognize sexual harassment, know how concerns can be reported safely, understand the role of the Internal Complaints Committee, and reinforce our organization's zero tolerance commitment. So now let's look at the legal framework that supports these rights. So the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace, which is Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013, commonly known as the Posh Act, is India's landmark legislation for creating safe workplaces. As shown on the slide, every organization with 10 or more employees is legally required to comply with this act. The law mandates the formation of an Internal Complaints Committee or the ICC to receive and address complaints. Another important provision is confidentiality. The identity of the complaint, respondent and witnesses must remain protected throughout the process. The Act also requires complaints to be resolved within the 90 days and clearly defines what constitutes a workplace: working offices, client locations, transport facilities and remote or hybrid work environment. Compliance with the Posh Act is not only a legal requirement but also a reflection of an organization's commitment to dignity, respect and employee welfare. So now let's understand who is protected under this act. One of the strongest features of the Posh Act is its broad definition of both workplace and employees. As shown on the slide, workplace is not limited to office premises. It includes meeting rooms, official travels, conferences, team outings, client locations, remote work setups, and digital communication platforms such as emails, WhatsApp groups, Microsoft Teams, and other professional communication channels. Similarly, protection under the Act is not limited to permanent employees. It extends to full-time employees, part-time employees, temporary staff, contract workers, consultants, freelancers, interns, trainees, volunteers, and visiting staff associated with the organization. Now let us understand what sexual harassment actually means. Sexual harassment refers to any unwelcome act or behavior of a sexual nature. An important point mentioned on this slide is that sexual harassment is determined by its impact on the recipient rather than the intention of the person involved. The first type is quid pro quo harassment, which means that this for that. This occurs when employment-related benefits such as promotions, appraisals, assignment, opportunities, or continued employment are linked to sexual favors. For example, a manager implying that a favorable performance reviews depends on a personal attention would fall under this category. The second type is hostile work environment. So this includes behavior that creates an intimidating, offensive, humiliating or uncomfortable atmosphere. Examples may include repeated inappropriate jokes, comments about appearance, unwanted messages or behavior that makes an employee feel uncomfortable. So the third type is digital and remote harassment. In today's world, harassment can also occur through emails, messages, applications, social media platforms, video calls, or virtual meetings. So examples could include like sending explicit content, inappropriate messages, or making suggestive remarks during online interactions. It is important to understand that harassment can occur both physically or virtually and is treated equally seriously under the Posh Act. Let's move on to the real cost, the impact of sexual harassment. The sexual harassment affects not only individuals but also organization as whole. Employees working in unsafe environment are 3 times more likely to leave an organization, resulting in the loss of valuable talent, experience, and organizational knowledge. So, at Space EC India Foundation, our tolerance for the sexual harassment is zero. Even a single incident can negatively impact workplace culture, employee trust, morale, and productivity. This is why prevention, awareness, accountability, and timely action are essential components of a healthy workplace. To ensure concerns are addressed fairly and professionally, organization established an internal complaints committee. As shown on this slide, the ICC at Space EC India Foundation consists of both internal and external members, and the Posh Act requires the ICC to include at least 50% of women members and at least one external member to ensure impartiality and transparency. The committee receives complaints, conducts fair inquiries, maintains confidentiality, recommends interim relief wherever required, submits findings, recommends action, and maintains records as required by the law. Employees can also reach the ICC through the official Posh email mentioned on the slide. The purpose of the ICC is to ensure that every concern is addressed professionally, fairly, and without bias. Now let us see how a complaint can be filed. Filing a complaint is protected under the Posh Act. The process is designed to be safe, confidential, supportive, and accessible. As shown on the slide, the process generally involves 5 stages: document, submit, acknowledge, and then investigate and resolution. Employees may submit complaints directly to the ICC. Complaints can be filed verbally, and in such cases, the ICC can assist in documenting the complaint on behalf of the employee. If an employee is uncomfortable approaching the ICC, support can also sought from a manager, HR representative, or trusted ICC member. The objective of this process is to ensure that every concern is heard, investigated fairly, and resolved appropriately without fear of retaliation. So this slide consists of some most important protections provided under the Posh framework. The first is strict confidentiality. The identity of the complaint, respondent, and witnesses cannot be disclosed. Second, protection is protection from retaliation. And then no employee should face adverse consequences, discrimination, threats, or unfair treatment for filing a complaint in a good faith. The Act also provides the right to interim relief, and during the inquiry, the ICC may recommend measures such as transfer, leave, or other arrangements to ensure the safety and comfort of the complaint. And it also highlights the behavior that is not acceptable. This includes pressuring a complaint to withdraw a complaint, and sharing inquiry details with unauthorized persons, filing false or miscellaneous complaints, or dismissing concerns raised in a good faith. Every employee has the right to be treated with dignity, fairness, and respect throughout the process. So finally, let's conclude with Space EC India Foundation's commitment to workplace safety. At Space EC India Foundation, we are committed to fostering a workplace where every individual, regardless of gender, role, or seniority, feels safe, respected, and empowered to speak up. We maintain a zero tolerance approach toward any form of sexual harassment. Every complaint is taken seriously, investigated fairly, and resolved promptly. As highlighted on this slide, a safe workplace is built by all of us through respect, empathy, professionalism, and the courage to act when something feels wrong. Creating such an environment is not solely the responsibility of leadership, HR, or the ICC. It is a shared responsibility of every employee, intern, volunteer, consultant, and team member. If guidance, support, or assistance is ever required, employees can reach the Internal Complaints Committee through the official Posh email address given on the screen, and together we can continue building a workplace culture based on dignity, trust, inclusion, and mutual respect. So, on the behalf of Space EC India Foundation and my HR team, I sincerely appreciate your participation, and I hope that this video helped you to understand the Posh and its compliance.